Hey there folks, Jumpastic here bringing another audio commentary, and today we have a 2 versus 2 on Echo Rock between ReminD and Fly, and they're going to be facing off today against th and Infi. So wow, really actually huge names in this game. I'd say for 4 of the top 6 players in the world are currently in this 2 versus 2. So really very high quality stuff likely to come from these players here, and really well, it's going to be interesting to see what strategies in particular th and Infi go for. Obviously they have a very strong human-human combination where they can just go for the tower rush really at any time, especially against an orc and elf team. Both players are susceptible to the tower rush, so certainly I think the orc perhaps slightly more so if both players go for archmages, because those water elementals will rip through the burrows as well, and certainly that has been their trademark playstyle, whereas orc elf is a bit more of a standard combination. Obviously it just allows for really strong mid-game compositions where you have raiders and huntresses, and you can go priest of the moon, but with an orc generally the demon hunter is a bit better. We'll have to see what ReminD wants to do. ReminD is sort of the king of the priest of the moon, but still does go for that demon hunter, as we can see. Gonna go for a hunter spell by oh no, sorry, the ancient of war down here, I didn't quite see it. So maybe we're gonna be seeing a sort of later hunter's hall, and then going for Dryades as well, which can be good because obviously you want to get those huge number of dispels off, and the orc isn't great at dispelling. And we do actually have, this is very interesting, where th has not power built its altar, whereas Infi has. So Infi's actually able to do some creeping a bit quicker here, and obviously you have to be a bit careful with what you do with these archmages, because you don't really need to creep up both of them as much, because you're generally going to be doing most of your important fighting against your enemies with both heroes around, so you don't need that brilliance aura on both players. So you can maybe get away with not going for that, for one player going for fast creeping to get that quick level 2, or maybe quick level 4, we'll have to see, and the other player playing a bit slower. And we can actually see, look at this, th doing this creeping here even though his hero isn't out, so that Infi will get this experience. This is hugely clever here. This is going to give Infi a crazy fast level 2, as I was saying before, actually, but ReminD comes straight in here and dispels that water elemental, gets some mana off on the archmage as well, and gets a bit of experience that for him as well. So that's pretty nice there for ReminD, but very nice for Infi, because we can see we're only 2.5 minutes into this game, but Infi already level 2 on a map where it's not too easy to be getting level 2 because of th's really generous creeping, and we can see no experience on this archmage. Maybe in fact they're going to be going for a tower rush straight away now. This would be a very strong timing if they chose to. We do have a lumber going up for th, and we do have one going up for Infi as well, so it looks like both players could be going for a tier 1 tower rush here, and actually maybe going to be going off for the elf by the looks of things. It's a bit of an interesting choice. But ReminD, now we can see he's immediately identified this. He is still level 1, but he picked up a fantastic item, these Slippers of Agility. So good on that Demon Hunter. And in the meantime, I haven't really been looking at Fly, but Fly has gone for a Blade Master and has only just got it out now. His Grunt's been doing some nice damage, but really not too much. And we can actually see, yeah, it looks like both players, both Infi and th, now moving into ReminD space, but eventually pulling out. We can see 2 more Agents of War, actually 3 more Agents of War on the way here for ReminD, so he's being really careful. He does cancel all of them now and puts up a Hunter's Hall, so it looks like the tower rush is going to actually switch to Fly's base. So that's an interesting just a decision to dedicate so much to doing that early pressure to ReminD, where he can just heal up on his Moondwalls, which obviously is a much less easy thing to do now that the real pressure is coming here. But look how powerful this tower rush is here from our Team Tyloo team, where just they have so many towers able to go up now. The peasants are already able to do some great blocking against the grunts as well, but ReminD now putting it on Nation of War won't be up quite in time to actually stop the tower from going up. But we can see Fly's going to lose his second burrow now. This is going to put Fly at 29 out of 10 food. He has no burrows up whatsoever. Really bad news bears here for him, as the Blade Master, now in really bad shape as well, is forced to windwalk out of there, and now going to try and do a bit of damage to that level 2 Archmage. Obviously the level 2 Archmage is much more important to take out than the level 1 Archmage, because that's providing extra mana regeneration for both the heroes. And we do know how Fly actually could be able to chase down one of these peasants. We can see a whole bunch are left alive, and these towers are getting pretty close, or they're getting to close to halfway at least to getting up here. And Fly now desperately rebuilding his burrows as well. And we can see that this one Agent of War is going to be forced to be cancelled. Actually, it wasn't cancelled there by ReminD. Too focused here on his other units, which are doing some pretty nice hide micro here. Certainly, we can actually see they're all hiding now. As soon as the footmen get too close, and they will probably come out of hide. Yes, there they go there. As actually now we do have ReminD getting a bit surrounded here with his Demon Hunter. There is one grunt here which ReminD is can move to get out if he needs to, but it looks like he will just about be able to cancel these towers in time. And in the meantime, actually, the Archmage does go down to that Blade Master in that top corner there. As we do see now, the Demon Hunter being forced to run about a bit, maybe going to run back to his own base now, trying to heal off a bit on Moonwalls. Still so many units left for our human team now, as we actually have the Blade Master getting a couple hits off on that Peasant, which isn't too useful really here. And we do now have TH coming back in, still only level 1, but he'll be getting double experience now basically because of that Archmage of Infi is already dead. And we do have this one Ancient of War. Looks like it will go down and be forced to be cancelled, hopefully, but this one did go up, and we now see the Demon Hunter for ReminD coming in almost level 3. It does cancel the Ancient of War, and we can see he's at full health there from his Moonwalls, and actually does now hit level 3 as well. It'll be interesting to see. He could go for level 2 Evasion. That could be better than level 2 Mana Burn if he's not too worried about mana left on the Archmages, just because obviously only a level 1 Archmage out at the moment, and that's been using a lot of mana already. And Fly being so cocky here with his Blade Master, actually doing so much damage. As we can see, TH really being forced to hide in the back. He has now hit level 2, so he is getting his own Brilliant Aura going now, but a lot of these towers are getting very, very close to being completed now, and this is looking like really, really big problems here for our eHome team, who are now really on the run with their heroes. Very, very low health, but this Blade Master does manage to get away, and now the Demon Hunter is actually trapped a bit as well. Looks like he might be able to fight his way. Actually, no, he won't be able to fight his way out, but he does still have his TP left on him, and he does in fact use that as the Blade Master comes around and gets the Archmage kill there for Fly. So very, very nice use of that Windwalk just to get in there and catch TH a bit off guard, as both the Archmages, actually the Infi's Archmage is now back, so no point where no one's getting experience, but still really annoying to not have those water elementals coming out at a constant rate. As we see, actually maybe now the eHome team will finally be able to finish this off. First tower finally finishes so long after the start of this attack, as the Archmage does come back in, but the Demon Hunter now going to be able to chase him away, even though he's low health. The Demon Hunter is just such a threat, and I'm really surprised that Infi still has this TP on him. He didn't sell it or use it to try and save his hero earlier. Obviously saving it, maybe not the best choice, just because you do have to try and have a way of healing it up. You can't get healing potions at tier 1, so maybe just better just to sell it and then let the Archmage die. But certainly this, what happened to him was really the worst of both worlds, where he still has it now, even using his Cloak of Shadows there for a bit, as his towers actually managed to stay alive for a long time. But now the Ancients of War, now the Ancient of War is in the battle, this is really going to cause a huge amount of trouble for our Tyloo team, who now actually being forced to TV away. Now that Archmage is level 3, is so important to save it, as actually we see some nice micro there by ReminD, even saving this low archer from the towers. And TH now going to, actually Infi going to be forced to cancel their respective towers here, and looks like we do have the last couple footmen being chased down, but probably can just be left to get back home, because it's more important to do some creeping at this point. Try and get, actually the Demon Hunter's already level 4, as we see TH bringing in more militia now. Really, really interesting choice here to chase down this one footman, though he does eventually get it, but doesn't get to go for any of the others. And we do now have tier 2 on the way. Tier 2 on the way for Fly now, and ReminD also has it on the way. Actually started a lot earlier now. Meanwhile, both our human players are still tier 1, so it looks like they're just going to commit to one final attack here, maybe go for it again, but really, after the really impressive early aggression they managed to put on, just wasn't quite enough. They were really robustly pushed back, and now they're really going to have to go for one last attack. As Infi, you can see, is level 3 now, and obviously those level 2 water elementals are going to be pretty strong, but ReminD more than prepared for any sort of secondary attack here, even putting up an Ancient Protector now. And actually he's really far out of position. He doesn't have his TP, he does have a Staff of Teleportation, but certainly all his Hunters and all his Archers are going to be left behind if he wants to use that. And he's actually picking up more items now, some pretty nice items, but probably better to sell at this point. Yes, he does. Obviously, the reason you want to sell those is just because you have so little time left in this game, presumably, if you can hold off this attack definitively, and that those long-term permanent items aren't going to be as useful. ReminD does manage to use the last of that Moonbow mana just before it's taken out there, so a nice play there by him. And the Ancient of War was eventually taken out, or Ancient Protector, sorry, was eventually taken out, but another one is now going up, as we see one tower going up here for Infi, and actually a lot of water elementals now out, including some level 2 ones, which do so much damage, as we now see this Blade Master coming and getting into the back lines here, getting a nice critical strike actually there off on Infi's Blade Master, or on Infi's Archmage, which does eventually go down, leaving only the level 2 Archmage of TH now. Another critical strike now goes off, and TH now definitely on the run, as we see a huge amount of defense being put up by ReminD, Andy, and Fly. just really managing to hold off all of this. The Archmage does eventually TP home, but it's going to leave these footmen here to die, really. Actually, one of these footmen pinning in the Hunters here, that's a bit surprising there, and Infi and TH actually both realizing that that's happened, and are going to be able to take that out, which is pretty nice. And the problem is actually this Ancient of War doing a huge amount of damage now. Ancient of Wonder's now actually up on the way, but it is eventually cancelled, and these 2 guard towers are about to finish, but the Panda's now out, and surely that's going to be it now for our Tyloo team, seeing that tier 2 is done, and that ReminD had enough money for a Panda, which is just so good against this sort of tier 1, mass tier 1 sort of situation. This one tower looks like it's just going to go down slightly before it can finish, and now the Archmage coming back in, but actually in the range of the Ancient of War, does eventually move out of the way. But there's the GG from Infi, and there's the GG from TH, as they realize that there's just no point in trying to continue to fight that. But really nice, a very, very nice defense of the double healing tier 1 tower push, which is so tricky to hold off at tier 1, especially if you're Orc and Elf, because they're both so susceptible to that tower rush normally. So really nice play there by all 4 players, and as I say, actually, those 4 players, alongside Moon and Lin, are probably the top 6 players in the world. So really, really a high-level game there from all sides, and I hope you enjoyed that game, folks, as ever, and I'll bring you some more games in the near future. Thanks for watching as ever, folks.